Senator Babet.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. Now I rise here to speak regarding the Work Health and Safety Amendment Bill 2022. Now, this bill provides a perfect opportunity for our Parliament, all of us here, to remedy a great injustice. Now, that injustice is the injustice of vaccine mandates. Now, for too long in our country, for much too long, hard-working Australians have been discriminated against by employers, by authorities, by everyone really, and these employees, I should say, are dedicated, they're highly skilled Australians, and you know what's happened? They've been shut out of careers that they love. That's what's happened, just completely shut out. Careers they have given long, dedicated years of service to, as an example, nurses, teachers, firefighters, volunteers. I'm sure you've all seen in the past where volunteers weren't able to go and fill sandbags because they weren't vaccinated. Ridiculous. Now, we've created division amongst our people, an unneeded division which has torn apart family members, friends, colleagues, even strangers. Now, the Australian Human Rights Commission states, and I'll quote from them, they state, "The guiding human rights principles for considering measures taken to advance public health are: they must be reasonable, necessary and proportionate. They must take into account the potential for discrimination. Mandatory vaccination policies and the accompanying use of vaccine passports and certificates have significant implications for freedom of movement, of association and access to everyday goods and services, privacy and autonomy, and equity and discrimination. Vaccine passports and certificates are more likely to be consistent with human rights principles when they are used as a tool to ease more burdensome lockdown restrictions and improve public health outcomes." That ends the quote there. Now, I ask you all in this place to think long and hard about the words that I just quoted direct from our Human Rights Commission. Mandates are an egregious abuse of basic human rights, and this bill, it provides an opportunity to prohibit mandates once and for all. Why have mandates been put in place? Apparently in the name of science, apparently. We were told that mRNA injection through mandates were necessary to stop transmission and to end the pandemic. That's what we were told. We were told that it would save lives and that it was the only solution. That's what was said. Now, a study funded by none other than the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and published in The Lancet found that the level of protection from past infection is at least equivalent to, if not greater than, 2 doses of mRNA vaccine. And I use the term vaccine loosely. Now, these COVID vaccines have potentially dangerous side effects, and I keep harping on about this every chance I get. You've all heard me talk about it before. Now, as Dr. Marty Makary, Professor of Surgery and Health Policy at Johns Hopkins University, said in a sworn statement, or said in a sworn testimony before the United States House Select Subcommittee, is what he said, and I'll quote him. He said, "Myocarditis is 6 to 28 times more common after the COVID vaccine than after COVID infection among 16 to 24-year-old males." Myocarditis.
Senator Babet, I'll have to interrupt you there because the time for this debate has expired and you will be in continuance later on.
Senator Babet, would you like to continue your remarks?
Yes, please. I absolutely would like to continue my remarks. Now, where was I? When I was speaking before, I was talking about myocarditis. Myocarditis. I've been speaking about this since I first stepped into this place. 6 to 28 times more common after the COVID vaccine than after COVID infection in males between 16 to 24 years of age. Now, it is critical that a system of work health and safety derived from this legislation minimises the potential for harm to workers, of course. Now, what we know and what every employer in the country should know by now, is that mRNA vaccines can cause injuries, and indeed they do. Myocarditis, pericarditis, Bell's palsy, and neurological conditions. Now, these are serious adverse events that could result in lost time injury attributed to mandated workplace mRNA vaccinations. Now, every workplace must strive for the protection of its workers. Every single workplace must take into account the inherent risk posed by mandating mRNA vaccines. Now, this bill, as it stands, unfortunately, it fails to address the biggest elephant in the room in relation to workplace health and safety. Let's not let this opportunity go to waste. Let's get that amendment in there. Let's protect people from mandates, although I suspect that many in this place will not do that. Thank you.